Pasha Paro, YN7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. I just wanted to hop on here real quick. I'm in the middle of something. I'm gonna get back to it after this. Listen, especially with all the activity, the flooding and stuff in certain areas, it reminded me of something, because I remember telling people to leave certain areas years ago for various reasons. I put a song out earlier this year about the rains and the flooding. Some people ignored it. Some people got the message. And that's really what I be doing. I be putting messages out there for people to grow. But look, let's get to this point, because all this intertwined into this. You see the hand? You see the hand sticking out the water? All of this reminded me of something. It reminded me of when something I never forget, right? I was a Boy Scout. You know what I mean? I would have been like an Eagle Scout, but I ain't do the community service shit. And I started getting in this selling stuff when I was younger, and I got out of that life. But anyway, look. So it was to get your life-saving merit badge, right? What life-saving merit badge is a lot of life-saving techniques, and it's highly revolving around water. You know what I'm saying? So like lifeguard, coast guard, stuff like that type stuff. So you gotta have your swimming and all that stuff. You gotta swim a mile, all kinds of stuff. You gotta be able to swim a mile. You can jump in the water without going underwater. Stuff like that. You learn all that stuff. So, and the reason why you gotta do that is because if you jump in the water and you go underwater, and the drowning victim goes underwater at the same time, when you come up, you're gonna waste valuable seconds, minutes trying to relocate them because you're disoriented from their position, right? So they teach you to jump in the water and not go underwater so that you can always keep eye contact on the drowning victim. But anyway, speaking of position, I got this shirt on today, just lounging around, working on some projects, and it reminded me too, the vibe today. It says, don't need your attitude, I've got my own, right? But you got to know what the word attitude means for it to really make sense. Attitude actually means position. So let's get to, people don't need your position, they have their own. And if more people knew what their position really was, they would stop trying to be things that they not, and stop, discrediting those that are actually in the right position for favor of people that are totally out of position, totally with the wrong attitude, so to speak. So listen, check this out, right? You're doing your life-saving merit badge at like 11 as an 11-year-old, you know what I mean? Maybe 10 and a half or something like that. And here's the lesson you learn that's going to actually help you for the rest of your life. If you never learned this, then learn it today and start practicing in life, and watch how your life changes, and watch how the people around you change, because you no longer pacify them. You're no longer sympathetic. You know what I mean? I know a lot of, we're taught to be empathetic in business, not sympathetic. You should be empathetic, but sympathy, is pacification. And once we get people addicted to pacification, everything's lost. So look, right, check this out. So what they teach you to do is when the person's drowning, you hop in, you start to swim out to them. I got you. Just wait. And say, when you get close enough to them, before you get close enough that they can actually reach you, reach out and reach you, stop. And begin to give instructions. And I know you're like, why? Because a drowning victim, or a person that perceives they're drowning, is in a state of panic. And in a state of panic, they will grab onto you and potentially drown you and or both of them in their fear. So you have to stop and practice self-preservation while trying or attempting to save a life. So you swimming out to the drowning person, right stroke, left stroke, crawl, backstroke. What's the best stroke? Biggie. You know what I'm saying? So then you stop prior to the point where they can reach you, and you begin to give instructions. And what the lesson was is at 10 and a half years old, maybe 11, is if they do not follow your instructions, you have to sit there and watch them drown. Because you have to protect your own life when trying to save another. All right, let's run through it again. You swimming out to the victim. Stop before they can reach you. Give instructions. If they do not follow your instructions, be prepared to watch them drown and die right in front of your face. Let me know how that changes your life. Let me know how that thought process could have helped you in the past. Pasha Pyro, YNS7, thank you for tuning. The replay. You know what? But before I go, hold on. And for those that may not realize the metaphor, replace the water with whatever the person might be drowning in. It could be misery. It could be financial. It could be, relationships. It could be whatever you want to put in place of the ocean, the water, the river, the pool. All right? The pool may be not as much of a risk because controlled environment and, it's only a few feet deep, maybe 10, 12 at the most, right? There's no current, you know what I'm saying? But still, with something 10 or 12 feet, it's just as dangerous. But if you're talking about like some of these public pools where it only go to 3 to 5 feet, I can see why you just jump in on there. But in a real life application, out with real water, yeah, no. You swim out, you give instructions, you stop before they can reach you, you give them instructions, and if they don't follow your instructions, then you let them drown. Because otherwise they're gonna drown both of you. So think about how you can apply that metaphor into your life, past, present, so that you know what to do in the future. Pasha Pyro, YNS7, thank you for tuning. The replay.